Hi everyone, this is Samir here. Welcome back to the channel. And today we are going to discuss about Frozen Dictionary in .NET. So, do you know that your API lookup tables could be 2x to 3x faster with just one small change? Yes, most .NET developers use dictionary for their lookups in the project. But what if I tell you that there is a collection that can make your lookups faster, safer, and more memory efficient? Exactly. Today we will explore Frozen Dictionary in .NET, when to use it and when not to use it. So what is Frozen Dictionary? So Frozen Dictionary is nothing but it is a specialized collection which has been introduced by Microsoft in .NET Core 8.0. It resides in namespace system.collections.frozen. It is designed for very fast read operations, faster than dictionary, and I will prove you that. But it becomes immutable after creation, which means you cannot add anything, you cannot update anything, and you cannot remove anything. So you might be thinking that what is the use of this dictionary? Like if you create a dictionary and after just creation of the dictionary, you cannot insert anything, update or delete anything, then why should I use this dictionary? Let's dive deep into it and I will show you with example. Just remember this one golden rule. This is a specialized dictionary which is optimized once and then locked for ultra fast reads. Okay, we will dive deep into the code and you will understand what I'm saying. So let's dive deep into the code. I have two projects over here. One is the console application and one is the web API project. And I will show you the both. The console application is regarding the performance where I will show you the performance of dictionary versus frozen dictionary. And web API project is a project where I will show you how we can use frozen dictionary in our web API project. So first, let's see the performance and let's dive deep into the console project. Okay, so this is normal console project, console.clear. Let's first define a dictionary. Say dictionary string, comma string. You can say country codes is equal to new dictionary. Okay. Now we can have country codes dot add. We can US. We can have IN as India, right? And we can have UK as United Kingdom. Fine. And now I will loop through this dictionary. So say for each country codes, item over here, so key value pair, and okay, sorry, there's a wrong way. I want to loop through like this. So for example, this is 10,000. I want to loop through the dictionary and I want to fetch, say, I and India. Okay, there is string country name is equal to blank, country name is equal to blank. Okay, so we have created a dictionary, we are looping through the dictionary. Now why I'm showing you this demo is consider this loop as the request which is coming from the client application to your web API or your backend where you have a static lookup and you are fetching the data. You are getting the key and you are fetching the value. Okay. So consider this as the number of requests which is coming to your backend application. This for loop. Okay. So let's. I'm not using benchmark.net. Let's make it simple. So time span t start is equal to date time dot now dot time of day. Okay, and now console dot write line dictionary loop started. Okay, which is nothing. Uh, let me quit string interpolation. Okay, we make it T start. Okay, now let's keep this over here. Dictionary loop ended, and before that, we have to have T end. Let's make it T end. Okay, and now let's go to console.write line dictionary loop difference. So what is the difference between the start and the end? Which will maybe in seconds, it could be in milliseconds, whatever. Start minus end. Okay, done. So this is about the dictionary where we have created the dictionary and we are looping through the dictionary and we are recording the start loop, the end loop, and the difference. Now let's go and use our favorite frozen dictionary. So I'm using console.writeLine to make it more clear. In the console, I'm using and frozen dictionary over here. Okay, so let's separate it. Now let's see how we can create a frozen dictionary. So frozen dictionary comes in a specialized collection which is called system.collection.frozen. So frozen dictionary, again, it is like dictionary string comma string, that is key value pair. Frozen is equal to dictionary, that is country codes dot to frozen dictionary. Okay, rather than to dictionary, do dot to frozen dictionary will create this frozen dictionary, and once this frozen dictionary is created, now you cannot add anything, you cannot edit anything, or you cannot delete anything. Okay, same thing we will repeat over here. We will repeat the start time and the end time of the loop so that we come to know. Let's make frozen dictionary start loop. Okay, again I will just copy, make it quick for you guys. Okay, so now it is frozen and we are just fetching one country code right now. Okay, again time end, this will be frozen dictionary end, and let's frozen dictionary start and end loop. Okay, so what I have done over here, I have created a frozen dictionary from the dictionary itself. Dictionary has dictionary.to frozen dictionary, which creates the frozen dictionary. We are looping through the dictionary, okay, the frozen dictionary, and this is the start loop and the end loop, and we will come to know what is the difference. So now let's compare this loop and this loop in the console, in the console.writeLine, and we'll come to know the difference, the performance difference between dictionary and frozen dictionary. So I'm starting the project. Okay, let's start the project. The project is starting. Okay, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Okay. Oh, difference loop 15 minus. So it didn't got my. Okay, my mistake. Sorry. Just hold on. It's my mistake. Okay. So the mistake was over here. It was within the same bracket and not a different bracket. Within the same bracket, not a different bracket. So let's start again and let's check it out. The performance. Great. Here we have everything in our console. So if you see over here, the dictionary loop started, the dictionary loop ended, and for 10,000 requests on the country lookup, it took approximately, so this is hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds. So this is milliseconds. So if we 1000 millisecond is equal to 1 second. So if we take, it took 421 milliseconds to loop 10,000 times. Okay, in dictionary. Now let's see over here. Frozen dictionary start, frozen dictionary ended, and the difference: hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds. Crazy. It just took 1000 milliseconds is equal to 1 second. So it just took 3 milliseconds to loop through 10,000 requests. Can you just imagine this is the performance of Frozen Dictionary on your project where you are using static lookups, right? Now let's increase this request, okay? So say for example over here we have 10,000 requests, we make it, yeah, 100,000 requests or 1 lakh request, okay? And we save the application. Again, we run the application, the console application. Great, great. You see over here the difference in dictionary to looping 1 lakh requests for on the static dictionary lookup. It is like 390 milliseconds, whereas in frozen dictionary it is just 24 milliseconds. It's insane performance, insane performance. Again, let's increase it to say 10 lakhs request. Again, 10 lakh request. Let's check it out. What is the performance? Great. Man, see this. The dictionary took 547 milliseconds to loop through 10 lakh request, whereas the frozen dictionary just took 197 milliseconds to loop through 10 lakh requests. So looking at this demo, you will come to know that how frozen dictionary is very efficient, very fast, and you can use it in your project for static lookups. Okay, so you might, this is just a performance application. You might be thinking how to use frozen dictionary in web API project if I am a backend developer or if the request comes to my .NET component. Okay, so let's dive deep into it. This is a web API project which I have created in .NET 9. Frozen Dictionary comes beyond .NET 8, but this project is in .NET 9. So it's a web API project. I have created a lookup controller. Okay, this is an API controller. And over here, this program.cs. Okay. Now, how to add Frozen Dictionary in your project? You can write this builder.service.add singleton. You can create a dictionary and you can use dictionary.toFrozen dictionary and you can create this dictionary and you can inject this dictionary in your controller, in your lookup controller, and you can use it. But this will be only used for if you have one dictionary. If you have multiple dictionary, then using this type of code is not good for your production ready project. Okay, for that what you have to do is I have created a class called data store. Okay, this is a class called data store. I have two lookups in my project. One is the currency and one is the state lookup. Okay, so I have created two frozen dictionary. In the constructor of my class, I have instantiated the dictionary and I have created the frozen dictionary. This data can also come from your database. Okay, I have hard coded, but this data can also come from your database. Okay, so there are two dictionaries. One is currency code, one is state code. Okay, I have created two methods in this class, which is get currency. I will get the key, which is INR, and I will return Indian rupee. For the get state method, I will get MH or GJ, and I will return the state. Fine. Now, how I have injected this in my lookup controller. First, you will see how to inject this in your lookup controller. You have to write builder.service.add singleton. Always remember, whenever you are using frozen dictionary in your project, make it as a singleton because it is created once and used multiple times. You should not create frozen dictionary on your every API request. Frozen Dictionary is not made for this. On the project load, you have to load the Frozen Dictionary once and then you have to use it multiple times. Okay. So builder.service.add singleton. This is my data stored class which I have used. I'm making this data store class as singleton, and I am using, this is my lookup controller. In my lookup controller, I have injected this data store class dependency injection, and I am using this data store class over here. I have created two API. One is get currency and one is get state. Okay, my API request parameter has currency code, which I will get it from the client end, from the client application. Okay, and I will use data store.get currency, the method which I have created over here. Get currency method which I have created over here. I will input currency code and I will get currency. I will input state code over here and I will get state code. Let's check it out, this project. I'm running the web API project now. Okay, this is the project slash API slash lookup slash get currency slash INR. Oh, you see, you got Indian rupee, which was the another. This is euro. So if I type, this is just euro. Okay. Now, if I want to get a state name, get state slash MH, and I will get Maharashtra, GJ, and I will get Gujarat. Okay. So this is how you can use frozen dictionary in your web API project by creating a data store or any data store class, and you can inject it, make it singleton. Okay, and you can inject it in your any lookup controller or any other controller and can use the frozen dictionary over there. It is insanely fast, as I showed you in the previous console application project. Okay, so now let's dive deep more into it. Where can you use this frozen dictionary? So what I have showed you is totally the implementation part, but the question again comes at the architectural level, where to use this frozen dictionary? What are the use case scenarios, okay, in the project where you can use? So as I showed you, you can, frozen dictionary can be used on static lookups, that is country, city. If you have a language translation app, okay, so over there also the language is static. Okay, the language doesn't change every day. Country, city doesn't change every day. You can use frozen dictionary. For example, hello in Spanish it is hola, and in French it is bonjour. Okay, so you can use those words in your language translation multilinguistic app, and you can have a key value pair and you can use it in your project. Microservice endpoints route mapping. This is very important. Suppose you have a, I'm just showing it to you over here. Suppose you have a URL called users, okay, which means your user handler should be called. Suppose you have URL called orders, that means your order handler should be called. All these key value mapping, you can put it over here in Frozen Dictionary, because you might be having lakhs and millions of requests coming to your microservices, and you need to route your mapping. Okay, that is static, it doesn't change every day, the routing doesn't change every day. You can use this and you can save few milliseconds in your project. The milliseconds which are saved will really help your .NET application to be fast. Again, application config like connection string. We store connection string, we pass connection string in Dapper. If you are using ADO.NET, we pass connection string. We can use this, we can store this connection string in Frozen Dictionary, and we can pass, if you are using ORM Dapper, you are using ADO.NET, you can pass this connection string in your request when you are calling, you are opening the SQL connection, or you are calling your stored procedures or anything. Okay, it is fast, because again, if you have your API custom predefined error codes, okay, if the error code is 5001, then show this text. If the error code is 5005, then show this text. Okay, if you have your API error codes which are static, which doesn't change every day, you can use Frozen Dictionary and it is really fast. Okay, so now the question is when to use this Frozen Dictionary and when not to use this Frozen Dictionary. This is a very golden rule. Just remember this rule. Don't remember anything. Just this one golden rule which I am telling you. Use when dataset never changes but is read frequently. Okay. Let's go back. Remember this golden rule. Lookups like country and city doesn't change. Okay, the data set doesn't change, but it is used everywhere in your project. Language translation apps, hello, hola, and hello, bonjour. Okay, uh, it is the data set never changes, but it is used everywhere in your project. Microservice endpoint routing, again, same, the golden rule applies. Application configuration like connection strings or any other key which you want to use, again, this rule applies because it doesn't change every day, but you use it at multiple places. So gets are in all your projects, okay, your API custom parameters. So these rule applies everywhere in your project. Fine. So I hope you have understood what is Frozen Dictionary. If you really like this video, then please subscribe the channel, hit below comment, and like this video. Thank you very much.